Buyers, do you ever feel frustrated and overwhelmed, like nobody's really listening to what it is you're telling them that you want? My name is Kristen Beverly with Cross Keys Realty and Southwest Florida School of Real Estate, and we're going to talk today about the frustrations of an agent not listening to what your absolute must-haves are and what your kind of wish list items are. I'll share a quick story with you. Before we bought our last home in New Jersey, I was working with an agent. Her name was Kathy, and Kathy, I think, was getting a little frustrated with us. We only saw maybe like 7 or 8 homes, but just nothing was really hitting the mark for one reason or another, whatever it was. And I called her one day and I said, Kathy, is there anything new on the market? Is there anything else that we can look at? I'm getting nervous. Our house is sold. Like, we have to find another home here. And she said to me, I showed you 2 yesterday, and those are the 2 you have to choose from. I was like, oh, really, Kathy? Really? Like, I have to choose between the 2 you're telling me I have to choose from? Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we can make other arrangements. I'm certainly not buying one of those 2 homes now, almost on principle, because, well, I didn't want them in the first place, but certainly not because you told me I have to choose between those 2 homes, right? So it becomes very frustrating when you feel like somebody is not listening to you. And one of the main ways to combat that is to do like a detailed buyer consultation. So lots of times we have buyers who get excited and they call and say, oh, we want to see this house, we want to see it right away. And that's okay, I get that, I totally understand. When you want something, you want it now, right? And it's a good way to start a relationship. So I would be more than happy to show you that home. But step number 2 would certainly be to sit down and really talk about what it is you absolutely have to have, what it is you would like to have, where you would like to live, perhaps that you only want to live within, 8 miles of your job because you're not into a long commute and that's not okay with you. Maybe you want to live super close to the schools because you have a bunch of kids and they all play sports and you can't be traveling a half hour to and from school. So even if the perfect home is available to you, if it's too far away from the schools, that's not going to work for you. Right? So part of our expertise is knowing which neighborhoods are going to work best for you, giving the criteria that you give with examples like that. You want to be so far away from work or schools or that kind of thing. So the detailed consultation is how we combat the frustration, right? So here's what we do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the details of what you must have. And must-haves include things like it must be 1 story. I have to have at least 3 bedrooms. I would like 4, but it has to have at least 3 bedrooms. It has to have 2 bathrooms. I would like a pool, but that's not necessary, but I would like it, right? I want an open floor plan. I absolutely don't want a compartmentalized house or vice versa. And so once we have what your absolute must-haves are on one side, and then we can kind of put over here, but we're gonna look for all of this, but we're gonna focus on these items here. So what we'll do is we'll sit down together and I'll pull up the multiple listing service where all of the homes are being offered. And we're going to put all of your criteria in, and we're going to see in your price point with all of your criteria, these are the homes that are available. And sometimes we get a really nice selection of homes. Sometimes there'll be like 12 or 15 homes to choose from. And then what do? We look at the nicest homes at the best price, and generally a buyer will choose from those. Every once in a while, though, when we put all of that criteria in with the location in mind and the price point, we might get 1 or 2 homes. Or it's even happened that no homes come up. So then what we have to do is we start ticking off of that wish list. We keep the absolute must-haves, the 3 bedrooms at least, the 2 bathrooms at least, but we start taking off the pool, the extra large lot, those types of things until we have more to choose from. It's very rare that somebody walks in and says, oh, this is all I've ever expected a home to be. Usually somebody is making a compromise on one thing or another, and that's why that consultation is so important to say, these are our absolutely we will not compromise on, but these things we can, okay? And then we're gonna look for the best homes for you. So we're gonna look at the nicest homes being offered in your price point. We're not gonna look at like that home that looks like it probably isn't a price point too high for itself, when we know that there's 5 other homes that are going to suit your needs and are in much better condition. So we're going to look at the best that's in your price point. And when we follow that process and we stay within the geographic location you want to be, the price point you want to be, and your absolute must-haves, I've never not found somebody the home that they absolutely love. That being said, I tell people all the time too, I can take you into like 50 beautiful homes today, but until you get that feeling the feeling that this is home for you, you're not going to buy that home. And sometimes what I have people do is they'll say, oh, I've been looking on this home online for 3 weeks. I've been looking for 3 weeks and I have to go in and see this home. And they think it's the one, and they think it's going to be everything they've ever dreamed of. And the second they walk in the door, for whatever reason, the feeling isn't there. And when you're buying a home for you and your family, if the feeling isn't there, it's just not going to work out. So let's get the consultation done early. Let's get out and start seeing homes. So when you have the feeling that this is the one, we can absolutely move forward. So if you're feeling frustrated that whoever you're working with, or if you're working with a smattering of people, or whoever's you're calling off signs or things like that, not honestly the best way to go. You want to find a trusted professional, somebody who's going to listen to you, who's going to make the process simple, who's going to make it quick, and who's going to get you into your new home fast. I hope you all have a wonderful day.